Hi guys, Taylor from the Gentleman's Flavor. We're talking about cutting your cigar today. Now, depending on what your preference is and what kind of cigar you're going to be cutting, there are all different types of options for you to try. We've got a number of different options today to show you, and then it's up to you to figure out what works best for you on what stick you're smoking. Lots of ways you can cut a cigar, and as we said before in other videos, whatever makes sense to you, keep doing that. For me personally, guillotine, V-cut, punch, they all come into various cigars that I smoke over the course of the year. It depends on, first of all, the tip of the cigar. You know, if we're talking about a crown cap, if we're talking about a torpedo cap, that's going to depend, it's going to alter my decision on what cigar cutter I'm going to use. Also, how strong I know the cigar is going to be. If I'm looking for a mellow draw, sometimes I'll go maybe even like a bigger cut, just so I'm getting more flavor on the palate. Good place to start. Everyone knows the cigar cutter is traditionally the guillotine. It's that circular double blade, sometimes single blade, that most non-cigar smokers will go to as the cigar cutter, and then we'll work our way, through various other options. So, starting with the guillotine, we take our guillotine, and there are different gauges. This is an 80 ring gauge. Gives you lots of room to play on. Specifically in the last couple of years, a lot more bigger cigars have been coming out. The Texas Lancero from Alec Bradley, that's a 70 ring gauge. Even the inch that comes out, and there's some 80 ring gauge cigars out there. Whatever your flavor, do that if you like it. So I've got a sort of a torpedo end here. This is an Arturo Fuente curly head, and I just cut just a little bit off, just so I can get a draw. Again, you don't want to cut too much off, otherwise she's going to start unraveling on you. Colbri and a couple of other providers have a guillotine that has an end stop. It's got a backstop to it, so that you actually don't cut off too much of the cap. So with this guy, I'm just going to put it in, and I can't go any further in. Squeeze, and I get the perfect cut. I'm not afraid of the wrapper coming off because the cap is still on there, nice and secure. I'm going to get a great draw. Now we're getting into the V-cut. Now with V-cuts, this is just a Colbri. It's very generous. There are smaller V-cuts, especially with sort of the more inexpensive cutters. They do cut less cigars. So if you're looking for a fuller smoke, go for a big guy. If you're looking for less smoke, go for the run of the mill, $3, $5, $10 cutter, and that's going to do you just fine. So the cut that we're looking for is the V, and it gives you sort of a nice Pac-Man look to it. Sort of a 90-degree angle there, and that's great for the draw. What I'm smoking on here is quite an interesting little punch, and this is sort of a 5 poker that goes right into the end of the cigar. It gives me a nice amount of smoke. As you see, drawing beautifully. Get a nice amount of smoke out of the top there. Very little resistance on the pull. So a punch or a bullet cut. Just take it, usually found in a lot of great lighters. Just nicely apply a little bit of pressure with a twisting motion. This is how I like to do it. And voila, a great pull to draw through. Something that's less common in the cigar world It's just a little poker. All right, you can find these. This one comes with the cap, so that you're not, keep it in your pocket or you don't lose it. It's got a keychain. You simply unscrew it here. You can poke, 1, 2, 3, however many holes you need to get the amount of smoke that you like on your drop. So I poked about 4 holes in that. That's going to provide a nice draw for this Arturo Fuente. And then, if you're a classic guy, you don't have a cutter on you, but you do have a nice sharp pocket knife, all you have to do is cut 1, maybe 2 cross checks into the cap of the cigar, and it'll draw just fine. So I've got a nice sharp blade here, gives you 1 cut. I'm going to cut either a plus sign or a Phillips screwdriver head shape in the top of your cigar. And when you bite down on it, it's going to open up and draw quite nicely. Well, there you have it, guys. There's 7 different ways how to cut a cigar. I encourage you to try them all out. Hopefully you don't have to buy all of them if you don't like them. Maybe a buddy has it and you can try it out. But definitely find out what works best for you in your adventure in the cigar world. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or if you know some buddies who could definitely learn a thing or two about cutting a cigar. Feel free to share it with them as well. I'm Taylor from The Gentleman's Flavor. Thank you for watching.